to Hospitality Influencers show by Raj Hospitality. We have a very special guest, a very dear friend, I will say a friend in need and indeed. He's Mr. Anish, who is the managing director for Travel Planners and many other profiles he carries. For people who do not know Mr. Anish, I would like to talk about him. Very small brief, but then he's a man of very few words. He started the Travel Planner in 1999, which is having a head office in Trivandrum and, of course, a branch in Cochin, UK, and Canada. Being in the industry in a very small time, the awards what he has got is the best innovative tourism product by Kerala Tourism Award, the best inbound tour operator by the Ministry of Tourism of Government of India, and best use information technology in tourism by Kerala Tourism. He has been, a pioneer in managing many positions as far as the industry is concerned. He is the past president of ETOI and past secretary for the Kerala Travel Mart and State Tourism Advisory Committee for the Kerala Tourism Committee, of course. And he is also a very professional hotelier. He have very beautiful, cute boutique hotels, the Villa Romantica in Cochin, the Spice Tree in Munnar, and Ayur Villa in Kovalam. So this is with a very few words of introduction to Mr. Anish. Welcome to the show, Mr. Anish.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Welcome. Mr. Anish, a few questions to you. Your inspiring story and your travel journey, being a travel agent, your journey. How did you start? Because was it a passion for you from the beginning, or is it just an accident you have been here, or how did you start this, and where are you today?
Okay, I actually did the tourism management course from KITS, and then I wanted to become a travel professional. And then 25 years back, I was, into the tourism tour operations. And then in 1999, I thought of starting my company, the Travel Planners. Those days, mostly the business is like B2B. Either the tour operators are handling agents, or so I thought, to be successful, you need to be traveling in off route. It should be, even the product should be distinguishing products and things like that. So those days, it was the beginning of e-commerce, and so I was just focusing on online marketing and digital marketing. And so we started the Travel Planners in 1999. Basically, it is a one-man show that time, and people were scared of booking through strange, online. But you need to give a lot of confidence to the travelers, and we were successful in the sense, I thought, we should build some kind of trust, to book online. So those times we have taken the government of India approval for tour operators, and so those credibility really helped. And in 2011 we got the National Tourism Award, and which was really, did a great thing for us. So there are a lot of those days there was no online reputation, and so people can't check the credibility of travel organizations. So, but we were working on those areas, and so we came out successful. And yeah, of course, I really wanted to be in a profession where I should not think that this is a job. So travel, especially tour operation, it's not a job. As you said, it's a passion. Like people always, I'm meeting different people from across the world, and I never felt that this is a job. For me, coming to the office and sitting here and doing these kind of works, I never felt that it's a job. It's a very interesting thing for me. So job satisfaction, I would say, the highest in hospitality industry. So that's the reason why I chose to be a travel professional. And I think still, I love this profession.
Fabulous. And when you started, you said about the kids. Actually, that's a news for myself. What was your purpose of joining kids? Actually, you thought that you had a plan to become a tour operator, or maybe you want to be a travel planner, whatever it is. Why you chosen the kids, the tourism subject?
Yeah, because actually, I studied BSc botany. Actually, this is a different this thing.
Okay.
So I was that time. I have a lot of interest in nature and forest and things like that. Then I thought, this is going to be like in Kerala. If you look at the tourism, it's an ecotourism. So I thought I should study some tourism marketing and things like that. So I joined the kids, and actually kids made me an entrepreneur, I would say,
Mhm.
uh, because there the those days the faculties, they always encourage you to become entrepreneurs. So uh, that I think they encouraged a lot, and then I thought I should become a travel professional, and that's the reason why the travel planners was started.
Fabulously well. And for all those people who are from the kids who've been studying in the kids, that this is a right example, Mr. Anish. You can understand the way the kind of passion which drove him, and also maybe I will say that becoming an entrepreneur. So it is not that because you study in kids and you become a tour operator only, where you can be definitely an owner. I think that's a right example given by Mr. Anish. Mr. Anish, your association with Etoy and the role of Etoy to develop tourism in Kerala.
Yeah, basically, I think Atoy was started maybe 15 years back. Those time, even I was not familiar with the other tour operators, because there was no connection between the tour operators, even in Trivandrum. So those time, some of the tour operators, they decided to have a common, like-minded platform. So they created this concept of Atoy, and they approached me, and I found it very interesting because those days you do not know what is the trend in travel. You can't interact with the same kind of industry people, and there was no Google, and so I decided, if you want to be a successful businessman, you need to have a lot of information. So to gather information, I thought, I should join this association. I joined as a normal member, and then when I started interacting with these people, I found, there are a lot of interesting discussions were happening every day, and so then I headed the Atoy for 3 terms as the president, and I would say we discussed many innovative ideas, and some of the innovative ideas came out as some very good tourism marketing initiatives. And one such initiative was the International Conference on Tourism Marketing,
Absolutely.
ICTT.
Yeah.
I would say those days, when tourism is far, the marketing is happening more on internet and social media. We thought we should educate our stakeholders how to adapt their business, or how to bring business through online and use of digital media. So we decided to bring the experts on technology, travel technology, and social media marketing. So we did the first international conference on tourism technology, and it was a big success in the sense there were a lot of experts came, and they have given a lot of information about how to do your marketing in social media and digital platforms. And I would say then we had two more editions of International Conference on Tourism Technology, and there, we used to bring technology experts based on the current trends and things like that. So I think we did a good job for marketing Kerala tourism in the digital space. And then we thought of, since the yoga day got celebrated, and the government started promoting the yoga day. So we thought, since this yoga originated from India, we thought, we should market this yoga in a big way. Like there were a lot of groups traveling in Kerala or in India, which are primarily focusing on yoga trips. So we decided to bring some yoga tour operators and yoga experts to Kerala to have a fan tour where we can showcase the options of doing yoga while they are traveling in Kerala. So we approached Ayush Ministry, and to have a great event on yoga in Kerala during the yoga day. And Ayush Ministry supported us, and they helped us to bring the 60 yoga experts from different countries to Kerala. And I still remember even UDS was a big partner for us, and you have given a lot of support, and the people were they were so amazed by the hotels and the beauty of nature and the products. And I would say that was really a very productive event, because many of the participants started bringing groups to Kerala. So in the product wise, I think that was a great event. So that was one of the big event Atoy has conducted. And then we what we found is, we found there are a lot of negative news going about Kerala tourism. So that is giving some kind of setback to the tourism industry. So we thought, why we should have our own media to give the actual status of the destination and tourism products. So we decided to have our own online tourism media. So we started Tourism News Live, and that is also a big initiative, and that's also did a great help in achieving the tourism goals in the state, and still it is going on. And I would say Atoy is for me, Atoy is a good platform where there are very talented, like-minded friends who are ready to, if you say some initiatives or some ideas, they all will be with you to take up that initiative. And so I think for the industry, we were able to do some really different initiatives for Kerala tourism.
I do agree, Mr. Anish, because I personally remember especially the yoga
Yeah,
ambassadors. That was something very amazing, and because I was part of it, and the yoga was done in the hotel, and
yeah,
you felt that you're doing something for the destination, and that was something amazing. And I also remember we both did the Facebook Live first time,
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
so that was first time I am learning what is Facebook Live is all about. That was all because of you. So I would like to thank you on this occasion for the such wonderful initiative done by you people. What are the changes you think that Kerala tourism should adopt? I'm sorry, this is not political question, and get into new norms to bring the better business to the state and give a new product to the customers.
I think post-COVID, the consumer behavior is changing. So we need to adapt to the changes of the consumer. It's like people are now more, worried about hygiene. They are more worried about safety. So I think Kerala should focus on very clean destinations. That is the priority we should give, because Post-COVID, I think people are concerned about cleanliness and hygiene. Apart from this, what I feel is the consumer behavior changes, which are favorable for Kerala in a way, because now, apart from the city breaks and all, now people wanted to be with the nature. They want to reconnect with the nature. So our Kerala tourism products are nature based. It's all ecotourism products. So I think there is a great scope for Kerala because people want to be in the mountains. They want to be, either they want to work from some nice destinations, and uh, apart from this, I would see people now wanted to travel for happiness because these COVID loneliness, anxiety, and so they are staying at one place for many long, and so people are very frustrated. So I think they wanted to be in a relaxed atmosphere, and I think a combination of our nature, our Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, I think this is emerging to be a very apt tourism product for the post-COVID travelers. So I think Kerala tourism should focus on our products. Like this product could not be offered by other destinations. I think this is our USP. So our unique products should be focused, especially if you are entering into a new market. This is the right time to enter new markets, because Ayurveda is now very popular around the world because of this COVID. People were looking at natural immunity, and I think there were many people trying for the herbal medicines and herbal drinks and things like that, and everyone was trying to do yoga meditation online, and so, but they have not they doesn't have that correct information. For example, if you look at yoga, now the yoga has transformed. Actually, the traditional yoga is a bit relaxing, techniques of breathing and things like that. But now it is transformed into gymnastic yoga and some physical exercises. But for those people, they should come to India and they should learn the traditional yoga if you want to have a balanced physical, mental, and emotional balance. So I think there is a great scope for our wellness products, and we should target on those products. And I think definitely Kerala tourism can get more people. And at the same time, what we are now seeing is, the local people are now traveling. So I think this is a great opportunity for the local people to come and experience, because our products, if you see the hotels itself is an experience. It's not just rooms. So before it was like expensive hotels. Right now there are 50 to 30% discount on hotels, and they can come and experience these hotels, and they can actually understand where Kerala tourism stands now. The amazing hotels in Kerala, the beauty of nature, and so I think the local people were tend to travel to other countries or other states, and now it's a time for them to understand our tourism products, and I think Kerala tourism should strategically do the marketing based on the consumer behavior. So I think definitely, once it is back, and they have already done a good job, and I think
Very well said.
they can definitely take Kerala tourism to much higher.
Very well said. Thank you very much. You have been a student of kids, as you said already, and I'm sure that you know what kind of curriculum you have gone through. Today, when you look back, and do you think that you feel that there are some changes to be brought into the curriculum, or maybe the student should learn something out of the curriculum? What should be that?
Yeah, I used to go to kids, sometimes as a visiting faculty, and to my surprise, what I have learned 25 years back, it is the same A.K. Bhatia book they are learning, But tourism has changed a lot. It's not academically, you can't teach tourism academically. I think. They should learn from practicing. So I would say a modern tour operator is like he's a good photographer, he's a good YouTuber, he's a vlogger. So you need to have a lot of skills if you want to become a tour operator in this time. So I think the curriculum should be changed accordingly. Like if you are a social media influencer, you can also bring your own clients, and so we need to teach students. You can't teach them academically, but by experiencing these kind of things they can learn a lot. And and I think post covid it is multitasking, yeah, definitely. Like people, they should if you are coming for a front office executive, you have to do other jobs also. You should have the skill, because the world is changing, like so. The curriculum should be like, you should not stick on to one subject. They should learn other things. And so, and moreover, to make your customer happy, you need to be a storyteller.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so what you have to do is like you should learn a lot of knowledge, and you should be develop your skill to communicate it as a story. So those skills is very essential. So I think our curriculum should be adapted to the modern needs.
Thank you very much. I think very well said, and I think that's very, very important because today the children has to come with the latest technologies, and so that they
Yes.
develop a lot. Can you describe your product in Munnar, Kovalam, and Cochin, and the USP of the same?
Yeah, as I told you, we have a product in Cochin. It is called Villa Romantica. It's a four-bedroom boutique property with a pool. This was we started maybe 10 years back. That time what we found is there were a lot of honeymooners traveling. So the name itself, you can see that it's Villa Romantica. It's particularly focusing on honeymooners that time. We were giving a lot of candlelight dinners and bed decorations, and so a lot of privacy. Those times, there were a lot of honeymooners, but now it's changed again. People wanted to travel to other countries, but again, it's coming back. So that is that product. Then we started the spice tree in Munnar. Basically, that time there was no high-end luxury personalized properties in Munnar. So we found a gap, and so we thought of myself and my partner Ivy Thomas. We thought of starting this spice tree, and it was a, experience itself. Like there are a lot of if you see the rooms, all the rooms are with jacuzzi or with the private pool. A lot of honeymooners and a lot of foreign guests, even they come and they can experience plantation visit, jungle walk. Even if you see the overview from the hotel is like it's a paddy field. So it's a rare scenery from Munnar where you can see the paddy fields. So location is so nice, and so it was initially itself it became a very successful project. Finally, myself started the Ayurveda in Kovalam. Basically, that is also a boutique concept of selling Ayurveda in a much private manner. I would say a kind of home-based Ayurveda, where you can have more personalized Ayurveda. We have only 4 or 5 rooms, so it's very private yoga. My wife itself is a yoga teacher, and so she also take care of the yoga part, and so 3 properties we started. It's a different products, I would say.
Superb. I've been to your Ayurveda, so I really found that something very amazing in Kovalam. The
Yeah.
present generation should be able to adapt in life to be successful. Can you give some tips that the youngsters should practice to be better person in life?
Yeah, I think right now I see the world as a very confused world because everyone is confused. People are confused. Even if you look at, we are also confused. We do not know what will be the future of travel. Even those people who want to travel, they doesn't know what is the future of their travel. So it's a very confused situation. So I think in this time, I don't know. We actually, my time, the concept of success, it is defined as, to make money, or if you are a wealthy person, you are a successful person. But I think the whole concept is changing. If you are happy, if you are healthy, I think you are a successful person. That's the new learning. What I have learned, because pre-COVID I was very busy with the work and travel, and I spend less quality time with my family. But I would say COVID is a great blessing for me, because it's it's a time where you can introspect, and you can there are certain ways of living which was not the right way of living, but which I understood now, and I am changing and I am adapting. So I think for the youngsters or those who are coming into business or any kind of the profession, I would say you need to be mentally strong. For that, you have to have the physical, as I told you, physical, mental, and emotional balance should be very core. So we should work on that. So during this period, what I have done is, I practiced yoga. I was doing meditation. So I was doing. Art of living, and so I was learning a lot of things, and so there are a lot of tips where you can manage your inner energy. If your inner energy is managed, you will be a better person. Like, your relationship with others will improve. You will be always happy, you will be healthy, you can stay away from illness. And so now, the skills which I learned, now I understand that I should have learned it before. Then I could have practiced it, and you won't feel like, you won't feel the stress, even if things go wrong, or if you have setbacks. Life is like, you have ups and downs, and so you learn to live. That's a successful person, I would say, is who adapt to these situations. And the new generations, if you practice these things, the people will not go to drugs or alcohol, those kind of things. I think India itself has a lot of these kind of wisdom that we try to learn.
Superb, superb. And my last question to you, being the most important person in the Kerala tourism, uh, when do you think that tourism is going to be back to action?
I think for my travel business, people are started coming for less than 7 to 8 days, because there is no quarantine is required now. People started, because slowly that confidence is building, I would say. because there is no infection for the travelers so far, or even there is no infection for the hospitality sector who are associated working with the travelers. So it's a big thing, and I think this confidence will build, and people will started moving. But I would say vaccination is the you know. When the vaccination comes, I think the international travel will restart, and I think by March probably India will open the international tourist visa, and the scheduled flights will be there, so that there will be more people coming in. And since people are not traveling, especially international travelers are not traveling for last 1 year, I think during off season also this time, if they open it in March, we may have travelers coming during off season also. So I think it depends all on vaccination, how the vaccination progress in different countries, our source markets, as well as in India. So if we can have the vaccination started by January, and if it progressively, if it is, maybe if we can cover at least 10 to 15% of the population, I think then people will start traveling.
Thank you. It was wonderful having you with me for the last 30 minutes. And I'm sure, uh, especially people who know you very well, and also the students and also the executives of different hotels, when they see this interview of yours, I'm sure there's a lot of learning they have, or maybe there's a lot of intake from this particular interview. Thank you very much, Mr. Anish, for being in this show, and it was a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you very much. And I would say that, even during lockdown, I was just seeing your social media engagement. And I would say, that is the right kind of move we all should do, because, it should encourage a lot of people. If you are, mostly, if I am seeing you active in the hotel, you are running around, then it will encourage me to move out and do things, so I think that kind of positive engagement is very necessary, and I was just following you.
Thank you, sir. And same here, I follow you in a lot of other things also.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye.